Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Thailand with United Way of Weld County, and I'm one of our collective impact coordinators. And today I'm so excited to be at Envision. And will you guys please just take a moment, introduce yourselves, what your role is here at Envision, before we kind of get to the meat of why we're here.
Sure. My name is Celeste Ewart. I'm the executive director at Envision. I've been with Envision for 34 years this month.
Wow.
And I'm Natalia Estrada. I'm one of the Early Intervention Bilingual Service Coordinators, and I have been at Envision for 5 years.
Celeste, 34 years. I did not know that you've been at Envision for 34
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Thank you. I love it here. Obviously, I believe very much in what we do.
So how long has Envision? I see 60 years is 2024, so that means 62 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been here for more than half the time that Envision's been
Correct.
around.
Yeah, correct. Yep, established in 1964, and we have our 40-year, 50-year, 60-year banners hanging up around the building. We were established in Weld County to be at the time, the case management agency for people who have intellectual or developmental disabilities. In 2024, case management actually moved from Envision to Weld County because of federal and state rule changes. And so we look a little bit different today than when we were established, but we are still the only early intervention service broker in Weld County. We serve about 1,600 families a year in that program. We also provide adult residential services, family caregiver, summer respite camp for youth ages 12 to 21. We have adult day program, which is where our art program is. You'll see a lot of art around our building here. And then we also provide supported employment. We help people find and maintain integrative, competitive employment in the community.
What is the overall organization mission here at Envision?
Yeah, our mission is to enhance the quality of life for people with developmental disabilities in Weld County.
For people that may not be familiar with that and familiar with Envision, how would you say that to somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. So if for the early intervention program, if a child between the ages of birth and 3 years old has a developmental delay, even they're not meeting their milestones, they are not sitting up when they should, crawling when they should, walking when they should, speaking when they should, any of those developmental milestones, if they're not meeting those, they could be referred to Envision and receive early intervention services. And 45% of children who receive early intervention services catch up with their peers and do not need lifelong services.
Wow.
So it completely changes the whole trajectory of the child and the family, the life, the school system, taxpayer money. So it's a very critical program. In adult residential, it would be then anyone 18 or older in our adult programs who has a true developmental disability. They will have it the rest of their life. And we help with anything that you do in your home, that you cooking, medications, doctor's appointments, personal care, cleaning, shopping, whatever is needed in the home. We do that for people in our residential program. For family caregiver, we will pay a family member to have the person living in their home to take care of them. The summer respite camp for youth for kids 12 to 21, those are students in the Weld County district area who, for maybe they don't qualify for extended school year, parents still need to work, they're too old for typical daycares and summer camps and can't be left alone. So that's why we focus on the older kids for that program. In the day program, the whole goal is to help people develop community connections, purchasing services, making new connections, and community safety, stranger safety, those kinds of things. Our art program is the most well-known program in our day program services. And we have a lot of people in the art program who create some amazing work. We have an annual art show that people are always welcome to. And with supported employment, we typically receive referrals from the Division for Vocational Rehab, DVR, and they will send people to us, and we will help with everything from job assessment, job development, what are their likes, their interests, what might be a good match for employment. We help with developing a resume, maybe helping them do some volunteer or work experience to help build a resume, because a lot of the people that we're supporting don't necessarily have a lot of work experience. And then we will help them fill out applications, hopefully get an interview, hopefully get a job, and then we can do the ongoing job coaching for as long as it is needed.
Wow. We're here to talk a little bit about our Collective Impact Fund and then the grant that you guys receive out of that. Could you explain what that program is that is funded out of our United Way Collective Impact Fund?
So the Collective Impact funding from United Way specifically goes to support part of Natalia's hours as a bilingual service coordinator. So we work with families that have over 80 different dialects in Weld County.
Wow.
And we're required to provide information in their language of origin. And this is to fund bilinguals for Spanish specifically. And so Natalia has the monolingual Spanish-speaking families on her caseload. And so this funding helps support part of her position. So I'll let her talk about kind of what she does with that.
Yeah, so having a bilingual service coordinator helps strengthen the effectiveness of the program. Offering that service to families, and for those that don't, have that information on how to access their services.
With this additional funding that's provided out of it, how are you able to strengthen the program itself?
When we do work very closely with many other organizations. We'll work with the Immigrant and Refugee Center, Lutheran Family Services. We have technology called Language Line that if somebody calls in or even just walks in, so it's not a planned visit and it's a language other than English, we have resources to access. But being able to hire bilingual service coordinators really removes obstacles for the families that are monolingual Spanish speakers.
So having those providers that are bilingual helps us get the family started with services a little bit more quickly, and then they feel comfortable in that setting of having someone that also speaks their language, the same language as them.
Yeah, I think that is a really great point. It's being able to come in and be comfortable with this program, and just in general, we've touched on it a little bit. Who are kind of accessing this program, and just in general the resources that you guys provide here at Envision?
Sure. So in the early intervention program specifically, I mentioned earlier we serve about 1,600 families a year in that program, and currently the evaluation process for kids is a regional evaluating entity. So they don't come to Envision for the evaluation to determine eligibility. They go to another entity, and then if they meet criteria of at least a 33% delay or more in at least one of those developmental areas, then they will be referred to Envision to have a service coordinator and get their services completed. But at 2 years and 9 months, if they are still delayed in any area, they would qualify for a specialized preschool program. And then we start working with the school districts to make sure that that transition happens. They understand how many kids are coming, so then the school can staff with as many paras as they need and what that might look like.
Yeah, so some of those challenges with offering those services is the shortage of providers that we currently have. So a lot of our families, we are an educational model, so we do the parent coaching, but we also do offer those in-home services for those children that need this additional support. But currently we do have that shortage of providers, and so that is where it becomes a bit more difficult.
Is there anybody that comes to mind when you think about that? Like someone's walked in the door and like when they walk back out or they leave the program, or they're still even in the program, they're just excelling and leaving at such a better state in life?
Yeah, I think Natalia has one with a family that she works with that's Spanish speaking.
So. Yeah, so before I read their story, I do have a lot of families that are very happy with the support that they receive, and sometimes they'll enroll their younger children as well.
Yeah.
And so that just shows the impact that we have, and the support that we provide to those families.
Do you guys have any success stories that you can share with us here today?
Yeah, I think Natalia has one with a family that she's been working with that is a Spanish-speaking family.
Great.
Yeah, so if I can just share her story. She states that her child, when they first started services at Envision, he did not pronounce any words, nor did he make any kind of sounds, but he has managed to develop his language a little. There has been little progress, but she understands that each child is different, and Envision's therapies help them a lot, not only the children, but her as a parent. And all the strategies that the therapists have offered or supported them with continuing to work with them in home has been very useful. And she, as a mother, is grateful to the therapist and myself as a coordinator, since the work that we do is reflected in her child.
For children that are developing normally, you don't realize what a big deal it is or how much we take for granted when a child starts speaking or I mean, it's always a big deal. So don't get me wrong. People are, oh my gosh, they said their first word. But if a child hasn't started doing that and it's been a year and it's been 18 months and it's been 2 years and they're not doing those things, when they start, it's just even more impactful and meaningful. Yeah, right. And Natalia mentioned that it's a parent education model as well. And so when therapists are teaching the primary caregivers, the parents, the grandparents, how to help them when they're not there. So if a therapist is only going in once or twice a week, then the parents can continue working on that, and it helps build the parents' confidence as well, and help them feel like they are helping their child succeed.
One of the last questions we always ask, and it's always my favorite question because I love to know what our great organizations are doing. If anyone wants to get involved with the great work that's happening here at Envision, and I look forward to October for the art.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Because
yes.
How can people get involved with Envision?
Sure. There are many ways that people can get involved with Envision. One of the best things to do would be to sign up for our newsletter. You can do that by going to our website, www.envisionco.org. We have many volunteer opportunities. We actually have 2 people volunteering in the art room right now. We have our annual 5K in my shoes. Our 12th annual is coming up on June 6th. We look for sponsors. People can have a vendor booth. Of course, people participating in the race. Volunteers to help us with setup and cleanup and serving food. It is, except for the 5K and 1K, which is $30. It is free for everything else. And so there's food, music, face painting, all kinds of yard games, kids' activities. So anyone is welcome to come, even if you don't want to walk or run. Again, that's June 6th at 8:30 a.m. here at Envision. And you can find that on our website, but it also has its own website. It's 5kinmyshoes.com. So the number 5, letter K, inmyshoes.com. Then we have our annual Heart of Envision art show, the first Friday of October every year, down at the Academy of Natural Therapy in downtown Greeley. And we have an opening gala that evening that goes from 6 to 8. And the artists that sell their work receive, if they sell an original piece of artwork, 65% of it goes back to them, 35% goes back to the program. So those are some great ways to get involved. I'm always happy to do a tour if anyone's interested in that.
Well, thank you both so much for having us here today, and for the great work that you're doing for our Weld County neighbors. And if you are a local organization, business, or community member that wants to get involved in the Collective Impact Partnership and what we're doing here to make Weld County a better place for all of our lovely residents, please feel free to reach out to us at unitedway-weld.org and join the work that's happening.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.